Yeah. And now po sa ating special episode, pag-uusapan po natin at bibigyan linaw po ng ating Department of Environment and Natural Resources through the Environmental Management Bureau Region 9 ang kanilang issuance po of the cease and desist orders to some of the sardine canning factories in Zamboanga City. Makakasama po natin, ikinagagalak ko pong i-welcome sa atin ngayon ang ating panauhin. We have the Regional Director of EMB Region 9. We have Engineer Alex Jimenez. Welcome po sa ating programa, Engineer.
Salamat, Ma'am Myra. Buenos dias, Zamboanga. Mayang hapon ka natong tanan. So, the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, Region 9, through the Environmental Management Bureau, Region 9, recently issued cease and desist orders against the following canning operation in Zamboanga City. So, namely, yung Mega Fishing Corporations, ZCE&L Corporation, Century Pacific Food Incorporated, and Southwest Asian Canning Corporation. All are located in Talisayan, Zamboanga City. The cease desist orders issued for an initial period of 7 days were subsequently affirmed by the Pollution Adjudication Board on October 18, 2024. This is in response to violations of Republic Act number 9275, also known as the Clean Water Act of 2004. The violations were identified during a comprehensive environmental compliance audit conducted on all canning industries establishment within Zamboanga City. Finding revealed that these 4 facilities were discharging effluent into the Karagasan to Talisayan coastal water class C, which greatly exceeded the allowable DENR effluent standards. So during the activity of the cease and desist order, the above-mentioned establishments are prohibited from discharging their wastewater to the Karagasan and Talisayan Bay. So the DENR Region 9 reaffirmed its commitment to enforcing environmental laws and regulation for the protection and preservation of the environment. While the DENR fully recognizes the critical role of the canning industries in promoting food security and economic growth, such advancement cannot come at the expense of the environment and public welfare. The DENR and EMB Region 9 will continue to work closely with the canning industry and other stakeholders to facilitate compliance, foster responsible environmental stewardship, and ensure sustainable development.
Yeah. Thank you very much po, Director Jimenez, no, for giving us an overview po ng ating statement on the issuance po of our cease and desist orders to our some of the canning factories or sardine canning factories that you mentioned po kanina lang. Ngayon po meron po tayong mga katanungan po that to specify lang po yung ating mga concerns, no, regarding our issuance. So what specific regulatory po concerns led to the issuance of the interim cease and desist order for these canning factories?
Section 8 of PUB Resolution number 04, the PUB is the Pollution Adjudication Board, which is mandated to resolve all pollution cases. So, where there is a prima facie evidence that the discharge of pollutants greatly exceeds the allowable DENR standard, the regional directors may immediately issue an interim cease and desist order pursuant to provision of the RA, Republic Act 1975, the Clean Water Act, which shall be effective for a period of not longer 7 days. This is to prevent further damage of the effluent for being discharged to further damage of the environment. So yung effectivity niya is only 7 days, but after 72 hours, we are duty-bound to forward that to the Pollution Adjudication Board for affirmation and further decision of the Pollution Adjudication Board.
All right. So, Director, can you expound the specific environmental laws or law that canning factories was found to be in violation of?
So, Section 27, Chapter 5 of the Republic Act 9275, which is the Clean Water Act of 2004. So, under ng Prohibited Acts, Section 11, Paragraph 3, under ng Water Quality Guidelines and General Effluent Standard of 2026 states that no person shall discharge wholly or partially untreated or inadequately treated effluent directly into a receiving body of water or lands or through bypass canals and or pumps and other unauthorized means. So Section 11, Paragraph 7 of DAW 2016-08, which is the Water Quality Guidelines and General Effluent Standard of 2016, also states that no establishment or source of water pollution shall be operated at capacities beyond the limit of operation or capability of the wastewater treatment facility to maintain effluent quality within the standard or pertinent condition required by law and or stipulated in the wastewater discharge permit.
Right. So I know, sir, the urgency of upon checking nga itong mga violation na ito. So what are the immediate actions were taken by the DNR or the EMB upon discovering po itong mga violations na ito?
So in order to prevent further damage to the environment, so the regional director is given an authority to issue interim cease and desist order for a period of 7 days. But we are still duty bound to endorse it to the Pollution Adjudication Board for affirmation so that after the 7 days, it can continue the cease and desist order upon only with the duly order by the Pollution Adjudication Board.
You mentioned po about the 7 days period po, Director. What steps po are outlined in the cease and desist order for the factory to rectify these issues?
So after ng cease and desist order, in order for the cease and desist order to be stay or meaning to be lifted, the firm must first submit the following for the issuance of the temporary lifting order. This is an order from the Pollution Adjudication Board in order for them to operate again. So meaning they can continue discharging wastewater to the receiving body of water. So, under ng temporary lifting order, they should submit a proposal containing the comprehensive pollution control program to abate yung pollution, including plans and specification of the respondent, anti-pollution facility, budget and the Gantt chart, meaning the schedule and the budget of activities relative thereto, provided that the signatory shall be, it's very strict dito, shall be the owner if the respondent is a sole proprietorship, if the managing head or its board secretary duly authorized by the board director, if the respondent is corporation. Then in order to assure the Pollution Adjudication Board that there is a sufficient budget for the pollution control program, they are required to post a surety bond equivalent to 25% of the total cost of the pollution control program, which is callable on demand, meaning it can be seized by the government if they will not be able to comply with the pollution control program. Then in order to prevent further harm to the environment, a detailed description of the interim remedial measure to be instituted by the respondent in order to address the source of pollution within the shortest time possible, pending the completion of the pollution control program. So this is an interim immediate measures to protect our environment. Then, pang-apat is the proof of employment of an accredited pollution control officer. Itong pollution control officer is being the one who is taking care of all the pollution control program and should have sufficient knowledge of all environmental laws and should be technical capable. So, and this has a process of accreditation. It is pursuant to DAO, Department Administrative Order number 2014-02. Then last is the notarized undertaking by the respondent managing head to comply with all the conditions herein set by the Pollution Adjudication Board.
All right. Thank you po for sharing that, Ardino. One of our concerns also is the safety of our community and the environment. So how do these violations identified po the impact surrounding the community and the environment?
So that's really part of the mandate of the Environmental Management Bureau, really to prevent yung ating water pollution, particularly because of the social and community effects. So ang first identified natin dyan is basically that area, yung main source of livelihood of residents are fishing. So definitely yung ating water pollution have impacts on fisheries, is can reduce fish population, affecting local fishing industries and communities that rely on them for livelihood. Next is also the environmental effect. So definitely with the discharge of polluted wastewater, we can have ecosystem damage. So pollutant can disrupt yung ating local ecosystem, harming aquatic life and reducing biodiversity. Species that are sensitive to changes in water quality may decline or disappear. Then another effect is also the habitat degradation. So it has been determined that pollution can alter habitats, making them inhospitable for wildlife. For instance, yung extant nutrients from the canning factory can cause algal bloom. Algal bloom are yung green component that sometimes appear sa atin mga water bodies. So causing that yung nagkakos ng mga foul smell. So this depletes the oxygen level and also harm fish population.
So ayun po, no, sobrang dami po niyang effect, not only in the environment but also in the communities natin. So what measures po are we doing that are being implemented now to mitigate po these effects during the cease and desist period?
So during the cease and desist order, definitely they are not allowed to discharge any wastewater. So definitely there will no more pollution because there will be no more discharge of wastewater. So we are sealing yung kanilang source of water so that they cannot use any more water, so they will not generate any more wastewater. Then after that, so they are made to submit a comprehensive pollution control program. So that includes plans and specifications of the respondent, anti-pollution facility, which is the wastewater treatment facility, budget and Gantt chart of activities in order for them to comply on a specific time. And if ever they can already comply with that, with the pollution control program, that's the time the Pollution Adjudication Board will be able to lift their cease and desist order so that they can resume operation. Upon the resumption of operations, the regional office, particularly the EMB Region 9, will now be tasked also to monitor compliance to the effluent standard at the same time with all of their plans and specifications that they have submitted sa Pollution Adjudication Board has been implemented.
Actually, that leads to my next question po, Ardina. If ever po ma-lift na no, yung kanilang cease and desist order, what steps po yung that are being implemented or must be followed by the facility natin to address these issues before resuming their operations or during their operations?
During the lifting of the cease and desist order, so definitely they have now to comply with the effluent regulations. So they must diligently follow their submitted pollution control strategies. Mentioned it is a pollution control program. Additionally, they have also need to strictly monitor and continuously improve the wastewater treatment process. Then, in order also to further enhance their ability to maintain compliance with environmental regulations. But the EMB will always be there to ensure and to conduct compliance audit in all of their activities.
What will happen naman po, RD, for what are the potential consequences for the canning factories po if ever they fail to comply with the cease and desist order?
Actually, for any non-compliance with the cease and desist order, is punishable by existing rules and regulations and may warrant criminal and other administrative liability. So that will be a sufficient ground for the EMB to file criminal cases against the managing head and all the owners of the establishment. So, as I have said earlier, mayroon kasi requirement dyan na notarized undertaking in order for the EMB also to file perjury charges doon mismo sa owner at saka sa managing of the corporation if they will not be able to comply with the requirement at the same time with the regulations ng cease and desist order.
So usually po, ano po yung timeline for the compliance and for the subsequent evaluations?
For the compliance of the industries, there's no specific timeline. It's up for the company kung how long they will be able to comply with the requirement. So as long na hindi sila magko-comply, they will not be given a lifting order and they will cannot operate. So it's for them. If they will move past, they will be able to submit all of this requirement. So definitely the pub will take up their motion for lifting order and will decide on their motion. So the issuance of the TLO will depend on the respondent ability to provide the satisfactory evidence demonstrating compliance with the condition stipulated in the issued cease and desist order.
Okay. So what are the assistance po, no? Does the DENR together with the EMB can provide po sa ating mga factories for them to, para to help them also in complying with the needed po, the documents or mga evaluations?
So as an government agency mandated really in the protection of the pollution control, we are considered to have some knowledge with regards to the mitigating measures and with regard to wastewater treatment facility and the technology. So we are offering also technical assistance for them in order to help them in enhancing the operation and efficiency of their wastewater treatment facility, to come out with waste minimization strategies to minimize waste. This also support yung including mga trainings ng kanilang mga pollution officer, guidance, mga best practices, regulatory compliance, and definitely we are also offering yung terms assistance for the analysis of their sample, whether it's already passed their effluent within standard, considering that for Zamboanga City, it's only the EMB has the laboratory capability to analyze effluent. So, we are looking towards yung partnership also with the industries in order to fully comply with all the environmental regulations.
All right. So with that po, Director, baka meron po tayong mga paalala, no, to other sardine canning factory that are watching, or also sa ating mga reminders din sa ating mga sardine canning factory all over Zamboanga City, Zamboanga Peninsula, on complying po sa ating, how important po ba itong Clean Water Act natin, how important it is to follow these regulations for us to, to maintain the environment, the safety po of the communities.
Thank you very much, Myra. No? So I'd like to say that yung Environmental Management Bureau is doing its mandate. So part talaga ng aming trabaho is to make sure that all of this effluent, all of this water being discharged by the company, corporations, all of these industries, industrial or commercial, to make sure that itong ating effluent being discharged to ating environment will not cause harm, will not cause yung environmental degradations at saka itong ating mga pollution, particularly sa ating rivers, oceans, and etc., considering the importance also of maintaining the balanced ecosystem. So, as I have said, so sometimes it's always better yung prevention than the cure. So, as experience natin in other areas, so many population that become very expensive now to rehabilitate degraded water bodies rather than preventing it that to become polluted water bodies. So, really, yung mandate talaga ng AMB is not only concerned of the government, but it's also the concern of each and every one of us. So, yung EMB is offering also yung ating mga youth, student, mga facilities for their environmental research in order for them to feel how important to save itong nag-iisa natin na planet, which is the Mother Earth natin. So, from the destruction and with all the human activity that cause to its degradation. So, I like to put emphasis na it's not the job of the government alone, but for everybody. So, thank you very much for the opportunity for the DENR, also for the EMB, at least that we're able to impart doon sa ating population, doon sa ating mga viewer, how important it is really to preserve, to protect yung ating Mother Earth. So, thank you o maayong hapon ka natin tanan.
Thank you very much po once again for sharing this information with us para po to clarify din yung ating cease and desist order nga sa ating mga sardine canning factory in Zamboanga City, and of course to emphasize din yung importance nga din ng pagpapahalaga no ng ating environment and ng ating natural resources po. With that po, muli maraming salamat sa Regional Director ng Environmental Management Bureau on Region 9. We have Engineer Alex Jimenez. Once again, maraming salamat po. Thank you po. And of course, maraming salamat din sa Department of Environment and Natural Resources here with us din ngayong araw po. Kasama natin ngayong araw sa ating venue. And of course, salamat din po sa buong team din ng Environmental Management Bureau in Region 9. With that, maraming salamat po sa lahat ng ating mga viewers. Kung meron po tayong mga katanungan, maaari po tayong mag-question po or magbigay po ng inyong mga question po via our live stream or sa ating mga Facebook pages po ng mga government agencies po na kasama natin ngayong araw. With that, kita-kita pa po tayo sa ating mga susunod pa pong episodes ng Kapihan na Zamboanga. Sa ngalan po muli ng Presidential Communications Office Secretary Cesar Chavez, PIA Director General Catherine Clory De Castro, and PIA Regional Head Ms. Noemi Adaga. Ito si Myra Espinosa. Muchísimas gracias.